Alright, welcome to another Desktop Dungeons run in our quest for the Vicious Rainbows. We've unlocked the Half Dragon now, and we're moving on to unlock the Gorgon from Naga City. Naga City's a bit of a longer Vicious Dungeon. It's got a reputation as being quite hard, but I'm not necessarily sure it's true. But still, we're going to take one of the strongest classes and hopefully just provide everyone with example of how to do it. We're going to be Orc, we're going to be Rogue. Orc is better than Human for Rogue because you get plus percentage damage. We're going to take the Dwarven Gauntlets, I guess. Take the attack boosters. We're going to prepare. This one. And we're going to have Johora. There are a lot of decent options for this, but the thing to note with Naga City is that there is the dungeons in 2 layers, and there's no god on the top layer, and precious few heroes. So we need to basically we want to take prepare a god ideally, and ideally one that's going to give us a lot of flat boosts. Okay, I'm going to go with a Perseverance Badge. Bear Mace is quite decent on... You know what? I think we're going to go for Bear Mace. That'll allow us to show a couple of things off. We are a rogue, so we don't really need the Can of Warpaths. We're going to take the Quicksilver, we're going to take the Reflex, and we're going to take these 2 potions, just for a bit of a change. Now we've got the Bear Mace, so we're going to take the Compression Seal, and I'm not particularly fussed about what items we get, so I'm just going to take the shop scroll on the ground so I can then fail to say it correctly as many times as humanly possible. Okay, here we go. Oh, let me see, good to find at the start. So the things to note about Naga City is it's set in 2 layers. There's a top side and bottom side, and when you go to the bottom side you get cut off from everything on the top side. Now this means we want to build up as much strength while we're up top as possible. Here's a quick little note for Johora Jeheyu. Party farming. You have a chance to get punished or to gain piety every time you uncover a monster. So, if we've got the Bear Mace, what we can do is we can knock those monsters back into the mist, and then we get more piety when we uncover them. So, yeah, you can do the same thing with the Pistol of Glyph or any other source of knockback. Okay, I'm just going to convert that. Alright, we've got our free weight work, and we've got the non-free one. Obviously, just a note, we can't knock it back anymore because of the corrosion. The point of the non-free one is that's just going to be converted. Right, and we want to get up to our petition as quickly as possible. And ideally we want to make sure we've got a little road in to the secret sub-dungeon. Okay, I'm a wall is a very, very good glyph on Naga City. Probably say that about every glyph, but I really like having the bonus experience on this. Again, it just allows you to get into a very strong position for when you're going down. As always with Rogue, one of our big priorities is going to be saying, you know, monsters with first strike, slow them. Rogue has huge attack, so it's extremely good at cleaning up Stronger monsters. We should have taken that sooner. Okay, we are poisoned, which isn't ideal. Right, so one of the things I'm thinking is that is a sub-dungeon we'd like to get. And we gotta hit something into it, really, to put it up. Right, I'm just looking to arrange something ideally. Unfortunately, we did get poisoned and we got weakened quite a lot and corroded. This is not a long-term problem. Okay, Sapphire Helm sub-dungeon, I think. Edender's usually a great glyph, but I don't hugely feel the need to keep it with Rogue. Okay. As in our previous Johora run on Dragon Isles, we're going to be putting a little bit of focus on making sure to get those boosters early at level 1, as then every level up gives you this full restore. Okay, ideally I'd have some sort of slightly cleaner wall breakage. I don't think I'm going to have enough attack to really start going after level 2s without... I could use Fortitude Tonic. That's an idea. Yeah, that's what we're going to do. So there's just a thing you can always do with Johora if you're not feeling like it's going to be a super tight run. And usually with Rogue it isn't. You can always cure yourself of whatever the most slightly interesting difference. You can cure yourself of whatever the most egregious side effects are from your early worship. I've put this in the wrong place. Right. And again, it's Johora. We're just building up ourselves in the early game. Okay, now I want to let that monster regenerate, because the aim here is to break that wall behind. And that will give us access to the secret sub-dungeon, which could really be very relevant. Yeah, so this is a nice to have sub-dungeon, just getting all these extra popcorn. Now, what things do we want here? We can pick up Soul Orb. Usually never a bad item really, but we still want to see what other options we've got. Tower Shield might be interesting. Okay, so the note with Rogue, as I imagine most people will realise, is that Rogue has really strong attack. And that really strong attack can translate to either just dealing a lot of damage and killing enemies quickly, or regen fighting very effectively, because your attack will outstrip the amount of damage you're taking. Now, my slight problem here is that I have misplaced this Gorgon. So I would really like this Gorgon to be somewhere where I can then use Wait What to kill it in two. And I would also like Lemon is quite a good glyph here, but really I just want to get started with... Oh, do I have any level ones? Aren't stoned. Yeah. But really I just want to get started with leveling as quickly as possible. Again, this is a great dungeon if you can just get to a high level. That helps you a lot with the later run. As you can see, Rogue at level 1, killing a level, whatever it is, level 3 monster. Rogue, very, very strong. I think it's universally considered one of the best classes by experienced players in the game. Oh, we double leveled. That's meant to be bad. I don't know why, but it is. Right, and Rogue gets free first strike as well. So that vampire is not going to survive. Again, this vicious dungeon, we're comfortably taking enemies that are 2 levels above us. Now, one of these little things you can do with Rogue is you've got this 20% dodge chance. Now, obviously you can't predict when you're going to get the dodge, but if you've got spare health that you're not using for anything else, you can then use that to basically test if your dodge is going to work. And then, if that is the case, I'm just going to compress seal that. Yeah, if your dodge does work, then it will give you a chance to potentially take a very nice high level kill. Okay, so the other thing I could do here, that was a bit sloppy because I wanted the bonus experience, but playing and talking at the same time is something I'm still adjusting to a little bit. Right, that one. And yeah, just as we said that, obviously there's another little mistake. But it's really not the biggest deal in the world. Because we've got a load of attack. 49 damage. Oh no, this isn't the dungeon with the Sapphire Helm. So this is just a signpost sub-dungeon, gives you a little bit of the world's backstory. And we're still, oh, this is infuriating. We're still very, very slightly off being able to deal with this one. Just because of the corrosion. So, what I'm going to do, go to the sub-dungeon. Let's break that. And here we go. Again, ideally we'd be using I'm all with these, but one of our sort of limiting factors at the moment is having enough mana to do everything we'd like to do in a given run. And now I'm very tempted to take Soul Orb here. It's a small item, it's very strong, and it's useful both in this sort of topside area. Okay, well that's great. Again, Rogue, you feel so blessed, you know, every time you're playing Rogue. You just you're doing normal stuff, and then suddenly you get this dodge and you get an extra load of hit points compared to what any other class would have. And yep, as we've already seen, we've got this huge ball of stats up here. It is quite important with Rogue in Naga City to have some sort of way to improve your health, especially. Rogue's big penalty, obviously, is the health pool, and in addition to that, Naga City has a lot of bosses, which you are going to need to be able to be hit by at least. Okay. I have beaten this dungeon with Purist Orc Rogue as well, though, so you know, you can do it without putting particular care into it, but again, it's just so much more reliable if you've got these boosts. Now, we are being a little bit wasteful here in terms of the experience. This is largely because you can think really you're not saving any of this popcorn for later on. You're trying to use it all to get to like the best possible point before you go to the downstairs. And I feel like by now we've probably got enough use out of Iron Wall. Convert that. Pick up Soul Orb, just for good measure. Again, it's not like we need it to get this particular kill, but it just allows us to do that and then start doing something else at the same time. Again, just Rogue is such a strong class. You get so many benefits from it. Just going to do that speculatively, and it is rigged, so it is giving me the dodge. So here, again, I'm really just getting everything to the best position I can. Normally I would be going for Chaos Avatar around about now, but I've got a specific reason to want to leave that in place. Okay, now I'm very happy with my position. You know, I'm not leveling again here. So I'm going to avoid leveling to level 10 for now, for reasons that will become apparent in a moment. Now, I'm thinking before I go downstairs, is there anything I need to keep or want to convert? As ideally, I would be buying some stuff here and making use of it. I think I'll get Dragon Soul. It's just a very good item, gives you a lot of sustained casting. Again, I think in isolation, you know, you look at it and you think, it's only a random item, but it does add quite a lot. And to pick up Balanced Dagger, because it's another small item, ideally I'd get that Badge of Honor and take a Death Protection from it, but I don't really have the inventory space right now. So if I wanted to do that, I'd have to really commit to doing a Feeling Parched run, which, again, I want these to be sort of illustrative. Okay, once we're gone with the hooded figure, we're going to ask them to take us downstairs. And now, we have a number of altars. So, what we're going to do here, and why we took the bear mace, is that we're going to use, as you see, we can regen fight anything that you can out damage. So we've got 111 damage, which is huge, and we can go higher. We've also got, yeah, we're level 9 as opposed to 10, and furthermore, yeah, so the boss only has 90, so we can regen fight that if we want to. It's not particularly efficient, but it'll do. The other thing we can do is we can pay 20 gold to unlock a altar. So we're going to unlock our Johura altar from upstairs. We're already at 100 piety. And you see we've got all the altars here, so you can really do some amazing god combinations on this dungeon. Okay. And we're already getting value from Dragon Soul. So here we're going to level first. And I also want to get Iron Man on the things. Okay. And voila, Chaos Avatar. Shoot, that was not smart. But there we go. So, nice and easy. That's one of the harder bosses done, which is Tower of Goo. Is always a bit of an obstacle in most Naga City runs. So, as we saw, you can use the knockback with the bosses to cut them into each other, deal extra damage, and we also got the full restore from Johura, which is part of why he's a great pick. And our items are really doing work for us here. Once we kill the tier of bosses, we get in a load more. Again, we're saving as much black space up here as possible. And not only do these bosses grant us experience, they also grant us trophies. And selling those, obviously, is a huge advantage. One of the reasons we picked up Soul Orb earlier is because there's Tormented one. So you do want to make sure that you've got something in place generally for Tormented one, for Tower of Goo, for Frank the Zombie. Again, we can pretty comfortably out-reach and fight even a very high damage boss like Lord Gob here. Now ideally, we'll be able to just do this. Dragon Soul to the rescue. Okay, we've got a lot of Medusas over here, so that's not ideal. Also got Jormungandr here, who, so you know, I'm going to just deal with these for various reasons. And this is so much nicer, this menu here, compared to what you used to have. You used to have a pop-up when you stepped on. So if you're stepping on an altar to regen from the wall tiles, you would have to close this pop-up. It would be very annoying. So we're now in a good spot where we're just ready to level up using this popcorn here. Okay, we'll put our hit in on the snake. We'll put in however many fireballs Dragon Soul wants to grant us. And voila. Now, I'm acting like I'm being very smart and I'm going for the Feel and Parch badge, but I've, again, literally just remembered that in Rewind, you don't get the Feel and Parch badge if you use a, whatever it is, Poison Cure Potion. So we're not going to get that either way. So in light of that, we can start just using up our potions to just get good fights against these bosses. Again, you see Rogue, regen fighting is very valuable. Dear friend Frank the Zombie is always everyone's favourite boss to see. Okay, take another level up. Okay, and this is just, again, such a comfortable run. Now, I thought has been that's also lost the specialist badge, so unless no way we're getting through that health bar without using physical attacks. So what we're going to do, start on our friend Kinnish. And I'm just thinking about which way to, if I am motivated enough to try and drive him towards a group of monsters for the repeated knockback, but probably not. He is cowardly though, so that's one of the pluses, is you can yeah, and again, the Bear Mace just helping with the death protection there as well. And as always with death protections, as you strip them down, just last chance for good measure. The enemy's attack goes down as well. Well, hooded figure, you're a little confused. This is the last of the spiders in the game, incidentally, is it? Oh no. Too deep for me, but anyway, that's a nice little first run on Naga City. Rogue, very, very, very strong class. Absolutely S tier by anyone's reckoning. And you can see that with Jahora's boost to get you a good early game, and all of the use downside, didn't need to use any gods, didn't need to buy any items down here. Could pretty easily have gotten parched as well, if not for me not remembering how it works anymore. But that's the way it is. So yeah, Rogue, very strong recommendation if you want a nice class to start with and to really learn how these kind of long scaling dungeons work. Right, the item we get is the Naga Cauldron, which is not known for being particularly useful, but we're going to hand it to the goats anyway. Thank you for watching.